Hedgehog's Homestead. Today I picked a bunch of rosemary and I'm gonna make a rosemary tincture. And then I'm gonna bundle these up and dry these. I want to make some rosemary tea. Won't make that today, but I do. I have other videos where I made a lot of tea. Now I want the rosemary tincture for memory. I'm at that age where in menopause, you deal with memory issues and all of that good stuff. And above 50, we just deal with that. You can use the leaves, you can use the woody bits. I can cut that up there and put that in my tincture as well. And rosemary is also good for hair loss. It has all kinds of properties that it is good for, and don't take my word for it, do your own research. But I will leave some notes above. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my rosemary tincture with some apple cider vinegar. It lasts about a year when you make it with apple cider vinegar. If you make it with alcohol, like vodka or something, it will last for years on the shelf. I don't need it to last years, and that's okay. So I just want to make about a jar full of fresh rosemary, and I'm going to chop this up finely too, guys, with a knife so I can get all those oils. And I think I will leave in the woody bits too. That's probably, well, maybe just a little bit more. I can already feel the oils on my hands from this rosemary. If you make it into an oil, which I did the other day, I'll show that to you. You just want to dry your herb and make it into an oil. And then you just boil it for like 5 to 10 minutes in the oil. And then you put it in a dry place. I put it in my fridge just because, actually, did I put it in my fridge? Yes, I did put it in my fridge. So the rest of these, I'm just gonna dry and then make that into a tea, which that's all you basically do is dry, cut it up and put it in a tea. And I am gonna dry this naturally, putting about 3 together and just tying it up with a nice little string and giving it plenty of airflow. If you hang it up, you do want to put something underneath because it tends to drop its needles when it dries. So that's good to know. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this up. Just give it a good chop. Those woody bits I'm just going to leave out because they have oils in them too, but they're just too hard to cut. I mean, I guess I could cut them with scissors. That would be a good way to go. I have been really getting into herbs lately because they're all around us. I grow them for food. And this rosemary, I was looking for something to do with rosemary. And when I came up across the benefits of rosemary, this rosemary I don't really like for culinary purposes, so I need to find a new rosemary to grow for that, because this one just doesn't taste good in a culinary recipe. So I used to make in Oregon. We lived in Oregon before, now we live in Tennessee. I used to make it a nice rosemary fry or something like that, and it was absolutely delicious. So I need to find out whatever that variety was, a more culinary variety. This is more of a really bushy variety. But it seems to hold up to our winters. We'll see how it holds up to this one if we have the winter that everybody's talking about. So there we go, nicely chopped up. And then I'm gonna find a jar and just put this in the jar a full amount in a jar. Mason, this is a ball jar. And I'm gonna put the whole bit of herbs in there. And filling it all the way to the top with the fresh herbs. Now, if you were doing dry herbs, if this was dry, you're gonna fill it halfway because when you use the dry herbs, it's gonna expand. So now, because I just used the leaves, this can sit on the shelf for 4 weeks and then I can start using it. When I go to use it, let me put my vinegar on there and I'll just show you how I put my vinegar in. Use vinegar, you want to use a raw apple cider vinegar. You can also use a glycerin. That will last about 3 years. But the apple cider vinegar only lasts a year. That's why I'm making a smaller amount. And then you can see that it kind of floats to the top. And I'm just gonna put a little, with a toothpick, kind of pushing it down. And then I'm gonna put it on the shelf with a date on it of the time when it's ready. So this is gonna be ready in about 4 weeks. Now, if I had put the woody bits in there, that would be like 6 weeks. So that's the benefit to just putting the leaves in. So I'm gonna put my top on there and also give it a good shake. This is a good sealed top. Now, I have been collecting this is the sweetener that we use. It's because we're on a carnivore diet, we use sweetener instead of sugar in our coffee. I also use this in my tea. It's great with herbal teas. If you don't quite, I don't know about the taste of this herbal tea. This lid doesn't hold as well. So I will put the date on it. So I wash these out and then I put it in something like this. If you see people throwing away glass jars with, where it's darkened like this, that's the best way to put it in a dark, warm or dark, cool place. You don't want to put it like in, somewhere where you got a stove running or something like that. Just in the part of the house where you're not going to, so keep it in the cupboard in the kitchen, but not next to the stove. Not where you're having steaming water or stuff like that. So we're going to let this sit for 4 weeks and then we're going to try it. I'm going to put it in a bottle like this. And rosemary oil. Now, I'm going to just tell you how I made this. I took some dried rosemary that I dried in my air food dryer, and then I put it in olive oil, and it was a cup of olive oil, and then I just added as much rosemary as I thought was right, and then I went ahead and just boiled it for 10 minutes. Next time I think I'll boil it for 5 minutes. Now this is great. I am starting to also lose my hair in my older age. This is great for hair loss. You can also make shampoos and all kinds of good stuff. Glycerin soap, you can make a shampoo with a glycerin soap and aloe vera and use that once a week. But this, if you wash your hair, you can put this in your hair before you take a shower for about 30 minutes. And it has been proven, there's been all kinds of studies done on rosemary, and there was a study done on rosemary compared to the local medications that they have out there for hair loss, and it won over that medication. So rosemary, do your own research, of course, always. See if one of the things that you want to check with your doctor with if you have seasonal allergies, I do too. If you have, if that using herbs from the garden will affect your body, your allergies in that. So there's one herb that is in so many things for respiratory stuff that I can't use. Mullein is one of those because I break out in hives just touching mullein. So so be aware when you're doing this kind of stuff that you really want to watch out for that. And I will bring you guys back when we are making this into a tincture. So 6 weeks if you have the woody bits in there, 4 weeks if you don't have the woody bits in there, and then it will stay on the shelf using raw apple cider vinegar for a year. And glycerin, if you're going to use glycerin, if that's your choice, then that's 3 years at least. But if you're using vodka or a really good 50% alcohol, something like that, that will last for years on your shelf. And then remember, you want to transfer it to something like this where it's a darker bottle or dropper. It doesn't have to have a dropper. And then you want to use about 1/8 of a teaspoon. You don't really need a lot. That's why the droppers are handy, but just 1/8 of a teaspoon when you go to use it. So thank you for watching today. God bless. And we'll see you guys next time here on Hedgehog's Homestead. Bye.